Check, check. All right. We're just getting started here. I have two cameras right now. That was weird. All right, let's see how this looks. Okay. I mean, it looks okay. We can adjust it a little bit better. This can come down a little bit. This can come down a little bit. This can come down slightly. Alright, that's good enough. Check, check, check. Where's my... Check, check. Check, check, check. I need checks. I need checks. Pay me money, pay me respect. Alright. We are dropping in 3, 2. What is up, team? Welcome back to Headquarters. Your Antifa CEO here. And honestly, I don't know if I'm going to be able to just come on here and say that every day now, because the algorithms are taking us down. The algorithms are starting to pluck people for saying these buzzwords. But, you know, I don't know. I don't know how I should handle it. I feel like, maybe I'm wrong, I feel like if I continue doing it and they take me down, that is a basic grounds case for, I'd have to look through the terms of service. We're going to have to get legal on it. I think that's the answer. We're going to have to look into it and see what our First Amendment protections are in terms of the terms of service, because I know that they have the ability to take down people based on those terms of service and whatnot, and no one has ever really won on losing their platforms and being replatformed. But I think it's very obvious that we don't care. We don't care. They can take us all down. We see it on the right. I mean, look, they did it to your boy, Mr. Fuentes. You know, he freaking went to the Schnazi rally in South Carolina, in Charlottesville. Was that North Carolina? It was Charlottesville, right? Yeah, it was Charlottesville. That was North Carolina. But so he goes to that. They take him down off of everything. Your boy was just on Piers Morgan last night talking about how cool that German guy was. And, you know, then you have all these other periphery streamers who get to make money off the derivative content. You got, was it Asmongold or something like that? Streaming the Fuentes, Piers Morgan interview. And his chat's just blowing up. You know, Dr. Greg sent me that. Asmongold's chat is going crazy. The youth, the young men of America are being radicalized right now to the right. And they're being radicalized away from compassion and empathy. And I don't understand why, especially by a guy who has never, I'm not trying to say like, I don't know. The guy said he never been with a woman or whatever, which is just kind of weird. Like, to get up there and like say those things that you say about women, number one, is weird. But then like having never been with a woman, or like, I don't know, man. That's just really weird, you know? And you're encouraging so many of these young men to just kind of like be weird. And I think what we really need to do, I think it's possible. You're right. I guess I don't want to yuck anybody's yum. Maybe that's a little bit bad on my part. I don't know. We have to find the line between attacking our enemies and using the appropriate words. What up, Chairman? But at the same time, we have to, we got to hit them where it hurts. I don't like that people are calling him, gay and things like that, because I don't know why we're insulting him like that. But regardless, obviously something is wrong with the guy, because look at how he talks about other people. And I think that that's what we need to focus on. And we need to figure out a way to attack that. I don't know. We just got to figure out a way to attack that, because that is one of the most disturbing things right now, at least for me, is that this guy is being platformed in such a way that all of the little fanatics think it's cool, and it's feeding into it. We're talking about Nick Fuentes. We're talking about the guy that was just on Piers Morgan last night. Yeah, it's just crazy, and he's gotten so many viewers recently. Viewers, followers, he's up to probably like 2 million across all platforms, if not more. And, that's why I'm talking about we don't have the luxury of time, because look at what we're up against right now. They're platforming these people in such a way. Elon Musk is feeding this guy so much money personally. Elon Musk is directly tooling the algorithm to bump his stuff. I can't even get on X. Communist, sick left radical can't even get on X without getting flooded with right-wing material. So I can just imagine all these little edgy kids and stuff like that. How do you track his following? No, he's on like every platform. I mean, not Facebook and all this stuff, but he's got Twitter. He's got like 1.3 million or whatever on there. He's got the Rumble account. He's got the other accounts. It's probably more than 2. He's probably up to 3 when you count all the other soft things, all the Discord groups and stuff like that, all the group chats that are able to disseminate his material. This dude's probably tapped into easily 3 to 4 million young men in this country, and it is absolutely crazy. That's why, what are we doing? What are we doing right now? Yeah, look, have me come later. Can't, because we got to talk, bro. Like you are one of the people that is supposed to be leading the youth recruitment, and you're doing a good job, but I can't have you drinking no raw damn milk, dude. That's not what we need right now. Maybe. I don't know. Let me do my research. Maybe the stunt is smart. I don't know. You make me a pros and cons. Maybe it's smart. Maybe it'll get views. I don't know. But I don't know if that's what we need. But you are doing a good job. You bringing in young dudes. You trying to save them. You radicalizing them. So I do appreciate you. And I'm giving you this shout out right now on all the platforms, because we're going to be putting more energy behind you, bro. And we're going to be tapping you into one of the JV groups we're bringing up. Oh, look, I'm sorry for all the chats. You know me. I'm not good with all the chats. But look, I can see now. Call him a troglodyte. That's messed up. But, you're right. He insults us. So he doesn't deserve to be called, slurs that we would associate with such kind and empathetic people in our movements, It's absolutely disgusting, though. But that's the people that they're platforming. That's the people that they're holding up. That is exactly who they are. If you associate yourself with those types of people, that's who you are. I don't know how to make it any more simple than that. Because when you come down to it, just because you hate the LGBTQ people and hate brown immigrants and you hate all these people or whatever, they're not bad people. So I actually don't mind associating with those people. They're kind, they're nice, they don't want to hurt anybody. Like, you're not hurting me by saying that. So, but you're associating with literal psychos. Like, it's absolutely crazy, and we gotta be selling. Maybe I'm speaking to myself right now. Maybe I'm projecting, but we got to sell more. We got to do more, because look at what we're up against. I mean, the dude y'all understand this. I don't think y'all understand, because maybe not everybody is as attuned to the right-wing propaganda or whatnot. This dude, all right, we're still talking about Fuentes, all right? we're in 2025. We're in December of 2025. Just in December of 2023, the dude had like 250,000 followers. So we're talking a potential 10x in 2 years. This dude has not only 10x'd his following, okay? His revenue is the highest it has ever been. What do you think that means in a capitalist society in which revenue means more of a war chest, which means more hatred, more division? This guy is radicalizing so many young men every day. And we have to radicalize back. We are fighting a war right now for the brains, for the minds, for the hearts, for the souls of not only the young women in this country, but I mean everyone realistically. Everyone is subjectable, but especially these young isolated men, because the society is moving us in that direction. And the billionaires benefit from it, because not only do they profit from the engagement and all of the hatred that they are peddling online, but these billionaires, these demons, they benefit directly from it, because these incels, these hyper isolated men idealize these billionaires. And because of that, they see themselves as aspiring to be one, as one day they will be the modern day Napoleon, the Mark Zuckerberg, the Elon Musk. They aspire to be the world's richest. And so the billionaires directly benefit from peddling this hatred. And I mean, the profits are massive. The profits are absolutely massive. I can see it in my own data that they're squishing everything on the left. Every leftist that I'm talking about is being squished completely. They're until what they're going to do, they're going to compress our reach, compress until no one's really seeing it, and then boop, they're going to pluck us right off the platform just like that. It's just like that. It's just that easy. It's textbook. That's why we're fighting every day. Look, you just checked it out and you're sick. Absolutely. And then that's not even, there's so many derivative accounts. There are so many derivatives in group chats and discords and everything that is just pumping that. His propaganda factory right now, the three main propaganda factories in this country, the three most nefarious propaganda factories in this country, X, which is the biggest, Tucker Carlson's, which is one of the most nefarious, and Fuentes, which is one of the most absolutely unhinged, and just because it's I haven't watched a ton of it, all right, but you gotta know your enemy. It is essentially his ego and his hatred, just feedback loop, just a negative feedback loop of his ego and his hatred, and him just talking very badly to as many people as he can talk badly to. And somehow a lot of those guys, they enjoy that shaming, because they'll send him money and he'll literally just say horrible things to them and call them horrible things and tell them to clap themselves and all kinds of stuff, and they send another 20. You know, it is absolutely insane. I think lots of those apolitical streamers fly under the radar, but are propagandists as well. Dooms, you got it exactly right. They are propagandists. I mean, from one propagandist to another, real recognize real, and these people are definitely playing the game. As much as they would like to say that, oh, they want to do this or they want to do that or they just do this, you know, everyone, especially in the content game right now, is playing the propaganda game. Unless they're one of those apolitical cowards that's just doing it for the money. And in my opinion right now, those are some of the worst people, because at least if I know that you're my enemy, I know where you stand. But the cowards, those are the people that you really can't trust. You know, my enemy, I know how to treat you, but a coward, I might as well treat you the same as my enemy, because you're either with me or against me, or you're in my way. So, and that's from the great Gucci Mane. You know, but I don't want to stay on Fuentes the whole time, but I don't think that we understand. And, you know, especially, like I said, he 10x'd in about 2 years. But just since, you know, Kirk got popped, I mean, the dude has gone from sub 1 million. He's doubled. So he's 10x'd in 2 years, but in 3 months, he's doubled. Those numbers, and when it comes to the content game, that's one of the things that you don't realize is that the bigger you are, the faster you grow, all those things. Those numbers are absolutely bananas. And the fact that he's getting this much money now, it's very dangerous. It's very dangerous because the types of people that will be emboldened to impress him are not good people. And realistically, you know, they were talking about this Groyper thing when Kirk got popped and all of that. It actually makes a lot of sense when you look at it, especially when you look at the way that Fuentes lives his life. He's maybe asexual, maybe something, who knows what he is. But regardless, the person who has benefited the absolute most, we always have to look at who benefits the most from events or things happening or whatever. He is the single person who has benefited the absolute most from that one event. You cannot look at anyone else. There's not anyone else that has come close to the monetary gain, to the influential gain, to anything from that singular event. And I think that needs to be looked at. I think that seriously needs to be looked at. There are some very, very serious factors at play right now because, you know, your boy Charlie, he was right-wing and stuff too. He wasn't as wild as this, but, you know, yeah, look, not even Erica. Because, I mean, yes, she lost her husband, but in terms of monetary gain, in absolute raw power influence, Fuentes has hands down been the number one benefactor. Just October, November, not even, well, we just hit 3 months. We've just hit 3 months out, a single quarter. You know, it is absolutely insane. And just that in and of itself, it should be eye-opening to everyone that we are playing a different game right now. That you can't just sit around and do nothing, especially when people are designing propaganda machines for you to engage in for free. I literally get on here and tell you, look, I don't want to be upset with y'all, and I don't want to yell at y'all, and I don't want to get heated because I know it's not any of y'all's fault, especially the people right here listening in this moment. I know it's my core radicals. This is actually for a lot of people after the fact, and we need more clipping. We need more everything, because how do you think that they are winning? They are winning because every day they are spending as much energy as they can online fighting the war, radicalizing, to the group chats, to the text messages, to the everything that they are doing. They are coding and pilling and doing it all. This isn't some propaganda spin. You can see it right out in the open, and then you can join and you can get taken through the levels, but it's very, very dangerous, and some people won't get out if they go in. I don't recommend it. But comrades, how do we expect to win if we aren't even playing by the same rules? How do we expect to win if our energy is not matching theirs? Am I saying that I'm the only face that needs to be shared? Absolutely not. But comrades, we know the people who are saying the things that need to be said. Those people need to be amplified in every way that is possible. That means that every button that can be pushed on every platform must be pushed, because that is absolutely free. There is no excuses anymore. I'm giving you December. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. I'm giving you December. You have a couple of weeks to get your affairs in order. Realistically, that's not even a luxury we have, but I'll give it to you. But we're beating the drum every day. The time has come. We can't play around anymore. This is It's existential. It's not only the billionaires, it is our way of life, just our basic civility, our basic ability to exist in a multicultural, multi-ethnic, heterogeneous society. It is under threat. And that means that for me, that is life or death. I am a black man in America. I look a little fair, I'm half white, but half of me won't survive. They don't count half of me. I learned that very young growing up in the rural South, that you're either all or nothing. So I am all sick left radical. I do not meander in the middle because they will not accept me if I try to stay safe. Maybe that's why I was radicalized. When I was younger, they didn't accept me. They called me horrible things. Not everybody, but a good amount of people. Because of the fundamentalist, the Christianity, the radicalization of all of that, in some ways I felt protected. I felt accepted. I felt like it was an extra layer of armor. But as I got older, I realized even then, you're not always in the club. Especially when Donnie Johnny came on the scene, I realized I might not actually be in the club. And that's something that's very important for us, not only as humans, but as all individuals, because alone we are very weak. But when we're in the club, when we're together, we're unbreakable. It's a cliche, I know, but we got to beat that drum. Every button that can be pushed, every free button that can be pushed, you must push. There are no more excuses. Every single platform. Because if they take one, we have to go even harder. Every single thing. I can't express this to you enough. When Fuentes can 10x in 2 years and double in 1 quarter, come on. Come on. Are you really fighting back against hatred right now? Are you really fighting back against fascism? Because someone, if you're watching this, someone right now is saying, all you have to do to fight back is to help other people see this, help other people get on the path to radicalization towards compassion and empathy. That's the only thing you have to do. Are you doing that much? Do you have that much to give? Because I don't want your money. I can't do anything with that right now. All I have is my ability to speak and hopefully inspire, to try to match the energy that is being faced against us. The only thing that I can do right now is fight. I can look this bully in the eye and say that is not the way that we should live. And I can try to show you a better way to live. But if you aren't doing the things that are available to you to fight back, then are you really fighting? Because I'll tell you what, and I'll be honest with you right now. I am always honest with my core radicals. Why would I ever lie to you? MAGA, sometimes I'll lie to them. But you, why would I ever lie to you? It would be a waste of my time. It'd be a waste of your time. I'll tell you something right now, comrades. I'm tired. I am tired. I work. I have a full-time job. I have a full-time family. I have a full-time commitment to the working class solidarity movement, comrade. I am tired. I am in the trenches with you. Comrades, I know exactly what you feel. I know the drudgery. I know the contempt, the regret, all the emotions in a single shift that we have to feel just to make it back home, just to find the energy to hug our loved ones, to look them in the eye and do it all again tomorrow. Comrades, I know exactly what it is like to struggle. I have been poor. I grew up. Social Security disability. That's not a lot of money. We had a house, rural South, but it's not a lot of money. Comrades, when I tell you that I am giving you everything that I can give, I'm not holding anything back. I'm not even taking care of myself the way that I should be. You know, I drink the water on here because, look, I'm on here. My mouth gets dry. I need to. But out, it's just go, go, go. There's no time to stop. And I know in some way it's going to catch up with me. I'm only 30 right now. Hell, who knows? I don't know. You know, Mr. Kirk only made it to 31. I know that the way that I'm living my life will eventually catch up with me. But I feel that I am living my life the way that it is supposed to be lived for the working class people and trying to improve material conditions. So when it catches up with me, just put me on a shirt. Put me on a meme. Carry me on. Put me on a mega yacht and let me go out Viking style. Whatever we have to do to liquidate, it will be done. Whatever we have to do to liberate the food, to liberate the houses, to liberate the health care, it will be done in the name of the people, legally, of course, because we have many tools available to us. But only when we come together and figure out how to maximize our potential, how to increase our own revenue, increase our own equity amongst each other, comrades. We can use the lingo and the words of the enemy. We can use this capitalist BS and we can show them. And I'm not saying we're going to go out here and get this money and that's not, don't misconstrue. But we're going to circle back to the point here, and that we can in a very satirical way show them the farce that we are living under. I think one aspect of that is that Antifa is going corporate. We will have a bit more decorum. We're going to probably get some journalists. I'm working on getting some journalists in because I want Antifa to be reported on real time. I want our press releases to be official. I want the whole shebang to be nice. Because when my federal charges come, and hey, I know they're coming. When they come, judge, you're going to have to, there's going to be a lot of clips me talking to the judge. Judge, I had a good time. Jury, I know there ain't no billionaires on that jury. I can't do this in the court. Hey, lawyer, this is for you right now. You got to make sure this clip played for the jury. Because how else am I going to make the case? They try to shut me up every day. I can't say anything. Can't even say the word socialism right now. I didn't check Facebook. Facebook might have took me down just for saying socialism. But the buzzwords, but hey, don't worry, because the racists, the supremacists, they can call me any creative thing they want. They can DM me, they can message me, send me death threats. They can call me the most horrible names that can be uttered, and we can report them en masse for whatever, and these platforms will say that is acceptable. But what is not acceptable is advocating for the improvement of material conditions. What a shame. What a shame. But it's okay, Mr. Zuckerberg, because I understand that the improvement of our material conditions might be at your expense. It might cost you that private bunker island that you got in Hawaii. It might cost you a bit of your mega yacht, maybe a couple of your PJs. It might cost you a little more than you're willing to pay, Mr. Zuckerberg. So I understand why you would not want me to talk about socialism on your platform. It might cost you a little more, Jeffy B. Might cost you a little more, Elon. But when it comes down to it, I think it's a fair price to pay. Because I'm not a psychopath. I don't want to pay millions of illegal immigrants for whatever fantasy I think is going to be better, because I know that there's nothing better on the other side of that. There's just a warm place in hell. If you think that treating brown people this way is the way to make your life better, you are going to hell. All right? Straight up. 20 years of Christianity taught me something, and it's that you can't treat people like that. You're going to hell. I'm sorry. You heard it here first. Man. Whew. It's just, what are we doing, guys? I don't think people understand. And it's not that I'm of some higher level of enlightenment or whatever. That's not in any way, shape, or form. Not even close. It's just that I know that we are busy. I know that We don't always have the time. We don't always have the fortification in our own mental to be able to just go through all that sludge and whatnot. Who wants to willingly expose themselves to right-wing propaganda when we already got enough of it seeping through? But I can tell you, their propaganda game is so tight. And I know that you see how tight it is because it has broken up our families. It has gotten into our own families and destroyed their brains, destroyed their morals and ethics. Their propaganda machine is so strong, it can overcome familial love of a father and a daughter, of spouses, of every relationship that a family can have. Their propaganda machine has broken it. It is absolutely insane. We are playing a completely different game. It requires a substantial amount of energy. It requires money, but we're working class people. I don't want your money. I don't need your money. There's a lot of other creators, they'll do that. You ask you for your money, you can send it to them. It's whatever. But what I want is your time, your energy, a little bit of your life. And maybe that's more selfish of me. I think that's the problem. Maybe that's the problem. Is sometimes it's easier to just send a little money and be on your way. But hey, we're not doing something that's easy right now. We're doing something that is very hard. We are trying to save ourselves, not only ourselves, but the people that we love, save our country, save whatever esoteric thing you want to weave into that. But when it comes down to it, we are trying to preserve the way of life that we know, that is under threat. And not even the way of life. Honestly, it's not what we got because we want it to be better. Low-key majority of us are struggling. So it's not even the preservation of this. It's just the improvement. Just in Texas. Was it Jasmine Crockett? Yeah, and that announcement speech. Jasmine Crockett running for Senate, by the way. That's who we're going to be backing in Texas because we need fighters. And I almost walked out of work and announced my campaign for Senate. That's how inspiring that shit was. But, I don't know. I don't know what my role is. I don't know the game that I need to play. But I know that the propaganda game is okay right now. Ain't making money. But it's okay. We don't need the money. I'm not here for the money. We're here for something else. So everything else will come. But yesterday, Ms. Crockett said that, Texas has had the most rural hospitals closed in the country. And I looked that up, and that is as a factual statement. And I didn't understand that because Texas is one of the fastest growing states in terms of population. So why would a single hospital close in Texas? That just doesn't make any economical sense, because if you have a hospital, more people are going to be born in the area, more people are going to come to the area. It gives the infrastructure for that area to grow. If you're not making the most profits now, the profits will come. It's very obvious when the state is growing this fast, when they're building suburbs this quickly, it's very obvious that the money will come. But these short-term, these demons, because I didn't look at exactly who owned all of these rural hospitals or whatever, but just digging a little bit, it goes back to the same culprits. Private equity, private equity thinking things that aren't as lucrative as they could be, so it's being closed down. The robber barons of our time. It's I don't know, man. Comrades, I'm tired. I'm tired, and when I come to you for energy, like I said, maybe it's selfish. Maybe those other creators have it figured out because you send $1, you go on your way. You don't have to sit around. You don't have to do nothing. You don't have to engage in the political system. And I think realistically, it's easier for them because in some way they're just robbing you. I don't want to paint anyone with I don't want to discount any other energy that anyone is putting out, because there are tons of good creators that get resources and do use them for good. Trust me. We know a couple of them. They do things for good. So I'm not lumping everybody in those same baskets, but we do know there are some creators right now making enormous amounts of money that are just, and look, they're playing somewhat of the game, a little bit of the game, but they're not really playing the game. I can tell you they're not playing the game because they're not cultivating, they're not running shop, they're not putting people on, they're not doing any of that. I can tell you this, anyone who has ever in any way, shape, or form, all of the creators that I associate myself with, that I engage with, everyone on my team, my real team that I can send a group chat to right now, there has never once in any way, shape, or form been any type of exchange of anything. We are all just like-minded individuals who seem extremely centered on improving material conditions. And even though none of us really have the resources available to do those types of things, we are coming together in the understanding that that is the goal, you know? And none of the people that I mess with operate their platforms in any of those ways that is, you know, these grifters and whatnot. And I think that those people will run their course, or maybe they'll get into Congress, you know. No offense to Dean, but maybe he'll be reading super chats out on the you know, Congress floor one day. I don't know. It would be better than reading out super chats from Raytheon and stuff like that. So, you know, if we get that, whatever, that's where it looks like it's headed. But it is what it is. You know, people, sometimes I have a problem because when you look at Fuentes, okay, when you look at what Fuentes is doing, and let's compare Dean and Fuentes. Is that the best comparison? Not necessarily, because Fuentes 26, 27, Dean's like 21. They have a different come-up game, and they're playing different games. But they're somewhat reasonably comparable because Dean is more mainstream, so he's on the mainstream platforms. Fuentes is, you know, suboptimal or whatever. But when you look at their fan bases, you know, not to discount Dean, not to discount anyone that watches him or whatever, but it's very obvious that the power structure is not the same. And even though that follower count number is higher, you know, and look, I don't want to push anyone to watch any Fuentes or whatever, but at the very least, the dude is talking to his people. He knows what to say to his people, and he even demeans them and plays into their kinks. I'm thinking that has to be it. He's doing a little bit of financial domination. But you know, he'll get you, man. He'll get you. If you weaken the mind, he'll get you. I'm telling you. And I don't necessarily think Dean is the same way. Dean's not playing that game. Dean is playing more of I don't want to just call it entertainment, but that's really what it is. It's really just entertainment. And if there is something that he's doing behind the scenes, I guess with like the debating tour and stuff like that, I don't know. That's not the type of organization that improves material conditions in any real way. Like going around to college campuses and debating, you know, no, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. I feel like the answer is every single person needs to be focused on unionizing, on political party building in their local area, you know, getting involved in some sort of periphery political organization and a nonprofit arm, you know, something like that to feed people or something. And, you know, because you got to have something to give back. Nothing about Parker. I mean, look, honestly, there's someone in the same boat. Parker's a little older, but, you know, I'm comparing them right now to Fuentes because that is the beacon of light for the right now, for the Schnazis all to gather around. And whenever we look at, you know, we don't really have anything comparable on our side. And the only things I have to compare are like Dean and Parker, and there's really no comparison. I mean, it's nothing against them, but Fuentes is mopping them, not with any sort of ideological anything, but like just Riz. Like your boy just gets on there every day and yells at his camera and hypes his people up. I think he does it like 7 days a week. He just hypes his people. Oh, no, he does like 5 days a week, whatever. But he just hypes his people up. And it's insane. I don't know. You know, I think part of the issue maybe is that Dean and Parker aren't radicalizing. They are just extremely benefiting from an already capitalist system. And even though they kind of like talk about some things, like there's no way that you make a couple $1,000s in one stream and then like don't do something immediately that improves material conditions in some way. Like I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm wrong cuz I don't know. It's just something that I can't understand, but I think that's part of my problem right now is trying to understand other people too much and trying to understand things that like aren't me. And instead, I need to focus more on the things that I can affect and the things that I can improve. And so that's why I don't use my platform in that way. I don't want to ask y'all for money because we're working class people. It's a little bit insulting. Um, in some ways, you know, it's a little insulting for me to ask y'all for money. But you know, energy, maybe. Hey, and that's the thing. When you're selling, I want what's most valuable. You know, your money. We're all broke, so like the money's not worth much, but the time, the energy, the effort of you pushing buttons and organically sharing us in multi-platform radicalization. You're in the Discord, you're in the Substack, I see you on Facebook, you're in the groups, you're helping here, you're in this organization with me, you're in that. Honestly, that's what I want. You know, you can keep your money because you need it for your family, frankly. You know, and I get the monetary aspect in the way that TikTok runs the lives and stuff like that. And I do get that some people are very generous and some people do have some to give. And I understand those things and that's fine. But, you know, time and energy is the most valuable thing. So, you know, that's the way that we built our machine, at least, is to run completely on time and completely on energy. It doesn't, I don't like, I mean, I have a job, you know, so like I have enough money to keep this right here as we're in its current iteration doing a few million. We do like, I did like 2 on Facebook altogether, probably did like 3 million across all the platforms last month. I don't think Santana is, I would consider Santana substantially different from them because even though his lives are in the same format, Santana is very much closer to what I would consider a true working class liberation ideology. Just in terms of how I've talked with Santana in the past and some of the previous spaces that I've seen Santana in, I would say that Santana has substantially more credibility in a lived experience because he's an older man. I think he's in his 30s. So he actually has a lot more life experience in the experience of a black man. And, you know, maybe I'm preferential, but, you know, a black man's going to get my deference any day of the week just because, you know, that's just how I am. You know, and look, Ben, don't get me wrong either. In terms of Dean and Parker, you know, they're doing more good than harm. It's just that with the amount of resources that they're taking in, they need to be doing a little more good. But they're capitalists, and this is capitalist society, so I can't necessarily fault them. Maybe that's the thing, is that, you know, I'm critiquing them from a more leftist, you know, perspective. If I was publicly getting all kinds of donos at the end of my stream, you would see me send that, you know, I would probably, let's say, if I brought in $2,000 on a stream, I'd probably send at least half, you know. Depends what the finances are looking like. Depends what the finances for the month are looking like. But thank you for that. But I mean, if I brought in $2,000 on a stream, I'd have to at least send half to something, or, you know. But our system, that's the thing about it too, actually, is the way that we're designed, like the way that my like entire creation game is designed, any money that I'm generating is already naturally going into like those types of things. So, you know, we have the outright propaganda, increasing the outright production of the propaganda, increasing all of that. So like that in and of itself, like if I'd brought in $2,000, honestly, $2,000 would be going straight into propaganda. You know, so I think that might be part of it too. I don't know. If they up their propaganda game, I would probably not have any problems with Parker and Dean. Even if they continue to operate in the capitalist model, I would think that it would be somewhat successful. Maybe that's it. I think that maybe, okay. I think I figured out the problem. The problem is not that they're not fully on board or doing whatever. I'm not expecting them to per se be radicalized because they're benefiting too much from this system right now already. I think the problem actually is that they're not playing the propaganda game right. And if they just upped it, we could actually be doing a little better. Oh, thank you for that, Bare Necessity. We could actually be doing a little better in terms of fighting against this radicalization on the right. And so maybe that's why I'm upset. So see, look, just being up here and talking with y'all and being able to kind of workshop what I'm feeling and whatnot, I don't have anything against Dean or Parker, and they're, like I said, they're nice people and they're probably doing more good than bad. It's just, you gotta take all of that energy that you're getting and you gotta figure out how to do the most good. I think, maybe that's it. We want the most good right now. We want the most efficient good, the best return on investment for good, because, we don't have time. We don't have time. And I think that the people tuning into Fuentes every day would run through a freaking wall before the people tuning into Dean every day. And I think that maybe is part of it, is that, when you compare the two, the level of radicalization is so different that their followings it's not comparable. Like, even if the numbers are different, one following is just so substantially more fanatical that it's actually like not better in terms of it's better, but it's more potent, it's more effective, it's more all of the things that you need to actually galvanize people in some sort of political context. Yeah, I think they do work, but yeah, they, in some regard, they did get hyped up in the algorithm early. And that's part of it, is that, they've been platformed for a while now. And yeah, it's cool to go be like a liberal influencer and go talk to like the Congress people and do all that stuff and whatnot. But like, where is the organization? So actually, I think David Hogg is a much better, substantially better, miles better, like influencer, social person, because from the jump, even though he, got the platform and did the stuff, he's been doing the political organization nonstop, and actually, putting the money behind people to run for office and stuff like that. And so I think that's part of it too, is that, you got to understand the game we're playing. And I think probably for Mr. Hogg being in that horrible event in his school, it highly likely clicked in him for life, like, his life, like, because there's like a switch, I feel like sometimes for some people it clicks, for some people it doesn't. I don't want to say it's like turning on adult mode or whatever, because that's not in any way what it is, but some people's lives are so traumatic at certain points that something clicks in them faster or earlier, and maybe for some people it never clicks. But yeah, the DNC does do David Hogg so wrong, and that's why our propaganda machine is going to definitely be putting a lot of weight behind Mr. Hogg, because he's one of those people that's doing it right. And I feel like people that are going to be elected into the system, when it comes down to it, some people are still capitalists and whatnot, but like, we have to focus on improving material conditions, and then as we're doing that, we can do the radicalization, we can do the full makeover, we can do all those things. It's not something that happens overnight, but you still have to have actionable items at all times. I've been yamming this whole time. Like, people can come up, people can come and chill and talk. I've just been yamming this whole time, and I forgot to check any other chats. Oh man, I'm so sorry, everybody. I'm so sorry to all the chats. Man, orators of the past, they didn't have the woes of the chat. You know, you used to be able to just get up on a stage and speak for an hour, 2 hours, you know, no matter, you didn't have to worry about the chat. Thank you so much, Belinda. I appreciate that. The woes of the chat. But, you know, I'll never be ashamed. I'll never be upset. I'll never be anything less than grateful for anyone that, you know, decides to tune in and spend their time with me in real time and be able to try to comment and engage in real time, not only with me, but with, you know, our community and whatnot. I think that is just so powerful. And one of the things too, like with the Discord, big dubs on the Discord for everybody. We're closing in on 300, which is just amazing, you know, especially considering that we're using this as our multi-platform channel to be able to culminate everyone from, you know, just everywhere, because we're bringing in so many different people. And just the way that Discord allows us to compile the information and sort it and be able to just share it with ease. And then there's also like the real-time features for communication, which is really good. Oh my gosh. So look, we're up to 6 followers now on Kick. That's amazing. We're up to 4 on Twitch. That is so cool. We got 6 followers on Kick, dude. Oh my gosh, we're making it. We are freaking making it. I have no idea how to see my followers. I don't know if they let you do that. That's so amazing. Oh, we're up to 82 subscribers on YouTube. Look at that. We're doing it, man. It might not seem like it, but we're pushing. We just added new subscribers to our Substack too. Our Substack is growing. Look, I guess we'll get into a little bit of a progress report. So I just added a bunch of subs to our Substack from our Facebook subscriptions. And I gave away 100 subscriptions for Christmas on our Substack. So for Christmas, 100 of our subscribers got 90 days of paid for free. And we have some, you know, just extra chats and extra things available to people. Just extra levels of radicalization, really, that are available. And for people that do pay, we have all kinds of creative things that we're putting into the works, because, I mean, we're building out real organizations. So there is going to be real revenue and real money flows and whatnot. And in terms of shareholders, I mean, working class people are my shareholders, so we have to give the people their dividends, you know. We'll get those dividends from those mega yachts, but not even a Prav, you're laying it out for them. I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody, especially in real time. You know, that's one of the most amazing things. And that's what we're working on cultivating right now. We need, which I don't know the timeline for this goal, but my goal is to be able to communicate with 1 million people in real time. And so what that means is we're not going to have 1 million live viewers. You know, that's a little crazy. I'm not American Idol. But in terms of, you know, I feel like once you get to probably 10,000 real-time viewers, especially if it's multi-platform, that in conjunction with the Discord, in conjunction with all types of other group chats that we have set up, we will very quickly be able to communicate with 1 million people in real time. We're making the push right now for 9 million people in our Sick Left Radical network. So that means that I'm streaming on Twitch right now. You can go follow me on Twitch. I'm on Twitch right now, MTCSTW. You can go to the stream, but honestly, if you're on TikTok, the TikTok experience is probably the best experience, just because if I bring up guests and stuff like that, you get that crisp audio. You get it in real time. I got the microphone now. We got the camera now. So TikTok's probably the best experience. But we are on 7 platforms right now. We could be in 8. I could be chatting in the Discord right now, but we'll figure out how to get it all going. But yeah, so the good ambitious goal of being able to communicate with 1 million people in real time. And why do we want to do that? Because it's important. It's important for us, not only me, but anyone in our network, to be able to have messages out quickly. And that's what we're building out, that real-time communication. I think it's cool too, because we kind of have like an emergency hotline right now. We have the ability, if there's an emergency, I can pick up the hotline, and I'm on the phone with people, with up to almost 9 million creators. We can get something out. 9 million followers, we can get something out pretty quick, but that's not real time. So see, if you can get 1 million in real time, if we can communicate in real time with 1 million people, that means that as soon as the real time stops, we can reach 100 million people in 24 hours. That's just how fast things spread. We see how it goes with these clips and with these shows and with all these things. We know what's up. So sorry, I gotta respond to my wife. She called me, I don't answer. I'm on live. Baby, I ain't got no hose, baby. I'm talking to the working class movement. Like, come on now. Just tune into the live. I ain't got no hose, baby. It's funny though. The audio, y'all after the fact are gonna be like, dude, why don't you edit this stuff out? Cause I'm the Joe Rogan of the left, all right? Do I have to shave my head? You want me to get on here? You want me to mainline? I'm the Joe Rogan of the left. That's why we don't do no editing. All right? No, I'm just playing. I would never. That's not a compliment to be the Joe Rogan of the left. When they tried to call Hassan that, I was like, yo, that's low-key trash. But, oh, man, did y'all hit that goal? Thank you so much, Belinda. You don't got to do all that. Just your time and your energy. I know you just followed. You don't have to make up for nothing. You're here. I appreciate that. We do these goals though. So the way that it works is the Facebook algorithm. The TikTok algorithm. I'm so mixed up. I got so many algorithms to keep straight in my head. But the TikTok algorithm, it works on these different types of goals, and they like set up different gifts and whatnot. It's all just a scam for TikTok to get your money. But essentially what it is you pay for our propaganda to be higher ranked in the algorithms. And when we're higher ranked in the algorithms, more people see us and all those things. But we don't need it. We're gonna keep hustling. Any of the pennies that you flip over the time is 100% appreciated. And, anything, like I said, all of our revenue goes into the propaganda fund. I have a job. I work a full-time job. I have a career. One day I will have to go full-time. So, I will have to be your full-time propagandist. My wife is not excited about that idea. But, I won't make that jump until we're really bringing in the dough. What do I do for a living? I'm a simple chemist. I'm just a simple chemist and also your Antifa CEO. Yeah, I'm Unc, big dog. I'm about to be 30. 29 going on 30. But, hey, I could be Unc. Hey, Unc could still have Riz, all right? You see how many followers? Look at that. You telling me we ain't got no Riz? You telling me Unc can't be Riz, all right? I know this lingo. I'm staying hip, all right? I'm in the Discord, all right? I'm not the hippest on my Discord, but we're getting some mods, all right? I know that I can't be everywhere, so I'm making sure to have the appropriate teams everywhere that we need to be. We even have Chairman Kant. We have Chairman Kant. Oh, Belinda, thank you for that. I'm too grateful. We have Chairman Kant with the Minecraft server, but did we skip different to Unc now? No, it's not that I'm different, dog. I'm Unc, like I'm just getting older, Obviously, my boy Star is someone young. Follow me, Star. I don't know if you followed me yet, but tap in. Appreciate that. Yeah, so there's all kinds of goals when you're on these lives. The way that TikTok does it. Number one, they want people to send you money because they make money. So that's on them. That's them robbing y'all. That's not me. But anything I make goes into the propaganda fund. We use it to increase the production value of the propaganda. We use it to fight back, and we also do deploy some funds to different mutual aid orgs that I like, different people. Oh, which, speaking of which, God, it's been an hour into the podcast. This is embarrassing. If you would like to feed a family this holiday season, please tap in with Veau Noir. That's VOIXNOIRE.com. Veau Noir is especially doing, I believe it's a sponsor a family this December. So please hurry up and get that in so those resources can be deployed. Veau Noir focuses on brown and marginalized bodies, which in my opinion are the bodies that need the most attention right now. This stream on 7 platforms and uploaded to up to 30 platforms after the fact is brought to you by Liquidate the Billionaires. That's right, Liquidate the Billionaires, with the ambitious goal to turn every mega yacht into a coral reef. If that's something that you can get behind, please tap in with Liquidate the Billionaires on all platforms. You can tap in with me, MTCSTW, or the Propaganda Factory. It's going to be real embarrassing to the sponsors that we waited an hour in, but look, I'll link y'all in the show notes. It is what it is. You know, Veau Noir, they don't pay for anything. That's just a mutual aid organization that I like and I believe in, so I make sure to plug them. Dr. Greg, huge shout out to Dr. Greg, bro. Dr. Greg, I want to let you know that I'm probably about to go, not today, I'm probably going to see about tomorrow. I'm about to get back into a jiu-jitsu gym. Thank you. I'm about to get back into a jiu-jitsu gym. You inspired me, you know, just talking about it and whatnot. And I want to have something, you know, that I can just hang out with people in real life. And just looking at the gym schedule, it'll be a little conducive for me to wake up, hurry up, make it to the gym, you know, eat, and then come hit the live and stuff like that. And my son's old enough. He's about to be 7. So I'm probably going to start. I might start this week, or I might wait till next week. I might start this week, though, honestly. I might go do it tomorrow. And then I'm going to probably sign him up next month. So, yep, Dr. Greg, you done inspired me and my son to go back to jiu-jitsu. I've been out the game for 10 years. So I did jiu-jitsu about 10 years ago, but I'm not going to lie to y'all. I was poor, and going to a jiu-jitsu gym is a little bit expensive, and I was working a lot, and I was in college, and I was only a white belt, so I couldn't teach the youth classes. So if I would have worked my way up to a blue belt, I would have been able to teach the youth classes, and I would have got like half off on my gym membership or whatever. But it is what it is. I'm ready to get back in. It's gonna be fun. You don't necessarily forget. I didn't forget the things that I learned. I mean, I was only a white belt, but I did jiu-jitsu for like a year and some change, and almost a year and a half. And I mean, it makes you very lethal, like really quick. Just in terms of regular people, you learn like all the basic self-defense, like off dome. That's like the very first things they teach you. You know, all the basic, like someone has you like this and all of that. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm looking back to it, and I appreciate you, Dr. Greg. You know, that inspiration. You know, that's one of the things, comrades. I don't think you realize, you know, not only with the team that we're building, but I like to surround myself with smart, compassionate, empathetic people. And, you know, I use this online space to do that. I've cultivated so many amazing relationships with smart and empathetic people. People that even now I find myself, you know, not only being inspired by, but being able to lean on in times of somewhat mental need, you know. Just yesterday, I was kind of going through it. The algorithm honestly just pissed me off. I mean, y'all know I was hot. I'd spent 10 minutes cursing out MAGA in the beginning. Very hot. And, you know, I don't know. I was just feeling all types of things, all types of ways. And I saw that Joey was live. Turns out Joey did a 5-hour live during the day. And I hopped on Joey Does It's Live. Huge shout out to my boy Joey on TikTok. And, you know, it made me feel better. Like, I didn't even really say anything, you know, just doing it, and the fact that, like, you know, the guy's like kind of like, he's my fucking friend. Like, even though I don't fucking know the dude in real life, he's my fucking friend, dude. I spent all this time with him. I talked to the guy. I freaking like the guy. Like, it's as close to friends as friends will get, you know? So, you know, just him letting me up there, it recentered me. And it's like, there's so many people in life, not only that like I have touched, but like have touched me or affected me. In that moment, it really, it really put some things into perspective that, this community, all these things are palpable and all these things are real. And, so the energy that we're feeling is real, and the motion that we're doing is real. And I mean, we got people doing real things, putting real boots on the ground, forming real organizations. We're about to be raising real money. Like it's getting as real as it gets. Give me 1 second. I need to grab my charger. Sorry about this for the audio experience, but I just realized my phone camera is about to die, and there is no visual experience without my phone camera. So, got this bad boy MagSafe, just like that, boop, and we're charging. But yeah. You should have somebody who clip farms for you. Good way to push the narrative. Yeah, I need a clip farm, Star. I don't know what your capabilities are, but that was what I decided on last night when I was going to sleep. As I was resting my pretty little head on that pillow, I decided that I need to put together a 10-person clip farm team ASAP. And then not only that, as we're doing the clip farm, because I'm putting together like JV groups as well. What is that? What the hell? Did you send me something? Oh, thank you, Dr. Greg. Thank you, bro. You ain't have to do that. I'm putting together the clip farms. And, shit on Dr. Greg's live last night. I was talking about the idea of a content bank. And the clip farms would be part of it. Where we will throw in content. So, like, let's say we have a Google Drive or something, like a collective Google Drive. That it's the understanding that anything we throw in there is like free use, not only for everybody, but anyone in the team. And then we'll have the clip farm. So it'll be like, you put in, let's say you put in 1 20-minute video, our clip farmers will, you could get 10, 20 videos from a 20-minute video. Cause yeah, some of the clips will be the same and whatnot, but like, it actually doesn't matter. They'll be different cause they're edited slightly differently and whatnot. And then we'll have a bunch of JV creators who might not be as on it. They might not be as creative. They might not be able to create as fast or whatever. Their content pace might be different, but we'll have the content bank that they can, make loans from. We'll give you a loan from the content bank. I don't know how we'll do it. Maybe the content bank will be the memes of production, literally. But, that's my, I don't know. There's so much in here. And I realize now I just need a bunch of teams to like do those things. And I'm not your leader. I can't just tell you what to do. But I think that, circling back to Dr. Greg's live the other night, we had Napoleon Wannabe on there. If you want people to do what you say, you got to inspire them. You have to give them hope. You have to give them energy. You have to give them something to march for. Because realistically, some of the most fervent soldiers in all of history, it was not about the money. It was not about the glory. It was about another man inspired them. Another person spoke to something in their soul and inspired them. And, when it comes to at least our team, when it comes to everyone in our community, our following, Antifa, our organization, I think, it's not just me who can speak to our team. It's not just me who can speak to everyone, but we have so many amazing people who inspire each other. It just makes it easy. It's very organic. It's very cohesive, and it's going to be very easy to just put everything together. I mean, I can tell you because behind the scenes, a lot of what we're doing is very hard. And if you were to put it on paper, it is very, very, very complicated. But just like at the ease of which this is happening, I don't know, maybe I should be scared that things are this easy. Maybe that's why. And look, I'm not saying, it's a cakewalk. It's not that. Because comrades, I'm tired. I told y'all earlier. I put in long hours for y'all. It's okay. We can talk about pay. But it's coming easy, man. I mean, the other day, I'll tell you, a creator gave me a multi-platform follow, and it was a nice creator on Insta. They got 90,000 followers. On TikTok, they're up to almost 30,000 followers. But it was very validating, number one, because I never interacted with this creator. They followed me out of the blue. So I messaged them. I was like, hey, thank you for the multi-platform follow. And they was like, it's no problem. I was in a meeting about memes and your name came up. And I'm thinking to myself, number one, what kind of fucking meeting is this dude in? And number two, if they're talking about me, they're talking about some sick left radical shit in that meeting. And then I'm like, man, I gotta get in that meeting. If they're talking about me, that's obviously a place that I need to be. That's some sick left freaking it's either sick left radicals or the motherfucking FBI talking about me. So but that shit was just so validating that someone sought me out for whatever reason, and we haven't started coordinating yet. And I like the freaking Antifa frog. Has he showed up? He hasn't showed up in a while. But the freaking Antifa frog, motherfucking American hero, just out the blue hops into I'm sorry, but just out of the blue he hops into my life. Hops into my life. And I mean that in some ways is very validating because it shows that I'm doing, I don't know if I'm doing the right thing, but I'm putting out the right energy and I'm attracting the right people. And I think, that might be why it feels like it's coming so easily because, on paper, to be able to communicate with these people, to be able to have them see my common goal, it just sounds very hard and it sounds very challenging. But, I met the Alabama leftist last night. Is his name the Alabama leftist? Or Alabama fella? I think it's the Alabama fella. Just linked with him last night. I joined his live. He's one of the few leftists in Alabama. Turns out they got a lot more than I thought. And, at first he was like, oh, who's this guy? Blah, blah, blah. And I was, I'm in the chat. I'm like, he's like, oh, I don't even know this guy. And I'm like, oh, you about to know me? I'm being silly. And, very quickly we establish rapport. We establish our common goal of improving material conditions. He allowed me to hang out on the live for a little while. We whipped a couple of magas around and then, I rolled out. And just like that, boom, we made another creator friend. He's got, I think it was like 140,000 on TikTok, like 14,000 on Facebook, almost 200,000 collectively. We're trying to push to 9 million in our collective. We're up to 8.4 right now. I didn't land him yet, but just landing him is going to get us to 8.6. And, we should be able to do that in the next couple of days. I mean, it's not like they have to agree to anything or they're not signing anything. All you got to say is, this is it. You ready? Hey, do you want to be on the team? What's the team? This is the team. We got this many people. The following collectively is this. You just say yes, and I'll be in touch with you in the future for anything. Yeah, I'll be on the team. Boom, you add it in just like that. And then I'll reach out in the future. We, if we get more formal immediately, we get more formal. If not, you're in the reserves. I know, and I know we know each other exists. We know where we're at. We're on the same page. You know that if I reach out to you, I need something. And I don't fucking want your money or whatever. Like, I'm trying to put you on. Anyone that's communicated with me in any capacity online, they immediately can see, like, this guy, he just wants to put us on. And I hope that's the vibe that everybody gets, because I just want to put everybody on. I'm trying to put myself on too. I hope some of y'all remember me when y'all were famous and y'all got the millions of followers and y'all are on the talk shows and stuff like that. But I just want everybody to be put on, and I want everybody to be working in a coordinated manner to fight back against one of the most existential crises that we are facing right now, which is the rise of fascism and right-wing ideology in America. Really the resurgence, because our right-wing ideology has always existed in a different form with the segregationists, with the supremacists. It has always existed. But this resurgence right now, for it to be accepted back into polite society and to become more mainstream, that in and of itself is what is so dangerous, you know? We had a brief moment of time in which being a right-wing lunatic was not profitable. There was no economic incentive there, but that economic incentive has been reestablished by segregationist billionaire Elon Musk, by you know, these platforms that are funneling Fuentes money. I mean, I don't know how much money he's making. Dude's got to be a millionaire by now, though. Dude's got to hands down be a millionaire by now. Just getting on here talking about hating minorities and stuff. So, you know, tell me this. If he can make millions of dollars getting on here saying, I hate minorities and all that, blah, 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 why can't I get 1 million followers for saying, hey, we need to improve material conditions for the working class people, and this is exactly how we're going to do it? You know, I think we'll get there. You know, I know if I probably jumped in this race for Senate, we'd get 1 million followers, and I don't know if that's my incentives for doing it. Well, let me rephrase that. I know exactly that wouldn't be my incentives for doing it. I'd be wanting to do it for the right reasons, but I don't think that that's what I need to do right now. I don't know. You know, my state, somewhat red. It'd probably be a L. Yeah, I'd make national media. I could poison pill the Democratic Party. But it just doesn't seem like that's the best use of my time right now. It seems like this behind the scenes power structure that we're building, it seems that it's substantially better. And I don't necessarily have to plug myself into that. And realistically, being the senator from some state isn't going to give me any power to improve material conditions for the working class people in any immediate way. You know, I think maybe, you know, look at that. Just talking to y'all, I've come to the conclusion I'm not going to run for Senate. You know, I was playing with the idea. I'm not going to do it though, because being one senator does not give me the power to improve material conditions with the wave of my magic wand. So I'm not going to waste my time doing that. No, I think that, you know, especially about to be turning 30, I think that we're going to build the power structure for the whole enchilada. You know, maybe that's a big and ambitious goal, but when you want to liquidate the billionaires, you need some pretty powerful tools to do it, because you're going to be going against some pretty powerful people. So I think that's what we're going to make sure to be focused on. So, you know, with that being said, that's not 2028. That's not, you know, that's not the next cycle. We're not going to be able to beat out any corporate Democrats or anything like that. But I believe that realistically, we will have the power structure for the working class people to assume the presidency within 8 years, probably 7 to 6 years. And it probably won't even be me. It'll probably be a beautiful woman, a nice communist woman, because it'll be the easier sell. But if it's me, hey, we'll go all the way. But that at least is where I see, not my ambitions or anything, but, you know, I don't know. You got to swing for the fences. Whenever you're in the trenches, you got to have something to look forward to. Maybe I'm crazy, but it seems like a road to the White House might run straight through the Antifa CEO, because I don't know anyone that would fight harder for working class people than someone that would literally put on a suit and say they're a leader of a T organization the same week that organization was signed as a T organization. You know, maybe that person's stupid. Maybe I'm stupid, but I'm stupid for the right reasons. So, you know, I think that's what it takes to liquidate it. It takes someone being stupid for the right reasons to liquidate the billionaires, because I'm sure the billionaires are going to have all kinds of great points to make about how, you know, they create jobs and they need their mega yachts, and how are we going to go to Mars, and how are we going to cure this and do that, and, you know, so it's going to take someone stupid to do that for the right reasons. But you know, it might not be me. It probably won't even be me. I've probably ruined all my chances with half the shit that I've said on here. But who knows, man? Who knows? But I do know that that's probably the structure that we're working towards. Being the senator from some state isn't going to do anything. Maybe on that same time frame, we look at the whole enchilada not just being the presidency, but we look at, the other political positions as well. If we could get a substantial push for Congress in both houses, if we could get a substantial push for, all those smaller offices and things like that. I mean, MAGA wrote the playbook. They literally took over the party. It's a far right party now, and you have a bunch of centrist right people, voting for completely far right ideology. So the playbook is there. Regardless of if we implement it or not, that's our prerogative. But the billionaires, see, I think the problem is that before, the left was never able to co-opt the Democratic Party in any real way because of the myth of the ethical billionaire. But if we can get rid of that, thank you for that. If we can get rid of the ethical billionaire myth, I think it'll actually be pretty easy to co-opt the Democratic Party, because we're somewhat there. Like, some corporate Democrats are kind of pushing away their billionaire handlers, but the billionaires are figuring out the ways to make sure that the money is flowing through the parties and the PACs and all those things. I think that, with the appropriate energy and focus over the next 3 years, we could have substantial power structures just in terms of the economics available to us. We're living in a different time, and we can make sure to have tools available for everyone to be engaged in their economy, just in a completely different way. Just in terms of farmers selling food directly to people, is there D2C platforms? Like, can I go and buy straight from a farm? Like, why is there not an aggregator for that? So see, there's all types of things that right now will probably exist in just a few years that, I can conceive, we can't conceive. But we have so many things, look, I told y'all there's so much in here just to be able to get it out and organized for y'all. We're going to do a lot. We've been going for almost 90 minutes. By myself, might I add, which I'm low-key upset with y'all, but it's okay. It's okay. I'll just keep doing it. Whatever. The people on the audio experience are going to be pissed, bro. They're going to be like, why are you dropping a 90-minute pod on a freaking Tuesday, bro? But, it is what it is. You don't have to listen to the whole guy. You got the frog guy to post up in the chat. Hey, I'm not going to front to you. I actually didn't get Antifa Frog in the chat yet. We DM. We are cool. So as cool as we can be yet, we're not friends yet. I'm not going to call him my friend yet. He's my comrade. He's definitely my comrade. That's for certain. And the Antifa Frog is based as fuck from what I could tell, yo. So, I'm not even going to front to y'all. No, he's not in my chat yet. But when he hops in the chat, everybody's going to be fanning. That whole day they're going to be gassing him up. Which, honestly, we're probably to the point now. The chat's kind of chilled out. The troublemaker's gone. We have multiple chats and stuff now. We got a lot of different things figured out. So we might try to make a push to get the frog back in, because I did invite him, and I'm kind of glad he didn't join when he did, because freaking Dr. Greg joined, and the chat low-key was falling apart. But we got the shit cool, and we got multiple chats, so it's just different now. Things are a lot different. But, you live and you learn, You live and you learn. Team, I'm going to cut it because it's almost 4:30 where I live. I'm about to have to go get my kids. I'm probably going to be live later on. I don't know. If Joey goes live today, I'll probably hop on there. My boy was real beaten up yesterday. So, Joey, big dubs to you. I know it's tough out here in the content game. Mountains and valleys. And then when you take all of that, you put your life, because life is hard enough. Then you got a bunch of people calling you racist slurs and giving you death threats on the internet. It adds a lot of levels to just living that I don't think that people understand. And I know that, looking at us on here and whatnot, it might be candies and rainbows, and I throw on the fucking suit and Antifa CEO looking hella strong, but I'm a person inside, I'm a human being. Shit, y'all hear me come on here. I don't sugarcoat anything for y'all. I'll give y'all the raw and gritty. When I'm going through it, I'm going to let y'all know, because I feel like that's what strength is. And at the same time, maybe this is selfish, but I need y'all to kind of hold me accountable. The way that I'm working right now, I'm actually just physically alone a lot. And that's kind of like a very hard thing. I've only been alone like this a few points in my life, but just because of night shifting, my family has school and work and stuff like that. So when I wake up, I'm alone, and that's why I'm getting off here. I'm going to get my kids. I miss my kids. But comrades, y'all hold me accountable, and I feel like I have to show up for y'all. Not only in terms of results, which the results are always coming in. I would think that y'all have been extremely satisfied with the work that I've given you for the year of 2025. But 2026, we're going to do even better. But I'm vulnerable with y'all because I don't want to lie to y'all, and y'all hold me accountable. I'm showing up to y'all, and y'all are my reason. Everyone. There's so many reasons. I got my wife, I got my kids, I got my comrades. Y'all are just one of those reasons that keeps me going until we liquidate the billionaires. I'll keep fighting. I'm going to keep pulling through. I need y'all to keep pulling through. I need y'all to keep tapping into that energy. I need y'all to keep fighting. I need y'all, especially when Trump says whatever dumb shit he's going to say, or whatever new thing that's happening, or whatever horrific thing we figure out, or the new war crimes. I know that it's going to be something that's going to wear you down. Comrades, please find the strength. Find the strength for me. And it's selfish. I know I'm a selfish guy. Find the strength for me. Find the strength for the working class solidarity movement. Find the strength for yourself to keep showing up, to keep being accountable, to keep doing the work. Find the strength to keep inspiring, because every time I look out and I see that camaraderie here fighting with me, I'm inspired to keep fighting. I hope that I inspire you to keep fighting. Comrades, find anything that you can to fortify yourselves mentally, because right now, especially in the shortest daylight hours that we have, depression is real. The seasonal blues is real. Some of us have lost family members. It is real. Star, I do like reading. Star, get in our Discord. Get in the Discord and at me or whatever, or add a mod and say, hey, this is Star from TikTok, so that we can communicate more. Because you just came in, you just followed. You look like you are active and engaged, so we're going to make sure to get you plugged in as much as we can. I appreciate everybody. Stay safe. Stay subversive. All the things. Until then, your CEO is signing out, but still working.